to grow bigger and ensure that we have more fish now and in the future.
In a replenishment area, fish are free to grow and reproduce. As their populations increase, more fish will spill over into other areas where fishermen can increase their catch and their income.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island, and you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
See the future with Bahamas Protected.
Number one team in the north. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. The Bahamas Tonight is coming your way next.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
First at 11, the Prime Minister focused on the intrinsic value of foreign direct and local investment beyond brick and mortar. This just hours after wrapping up the budget debate in Parliament. And the budget debate expected to move to the upper chamber now that it's been passed in the House of Assembly, but not before the Minister of Health and Wellness had to defend several allocations as questions arose from members of the opposition. And a meaningful job fair this Saturday that is expected to provide employment opportunities for differently abled persons. That's straight ahead. The Bahamas Tonight at 11 starts now. Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. Fresh from a local meeting with the IMF and only hours after wrapping up and passing a marathon budget debate in the House of Assembly last evening, Prime Minister, the Honourable Philip Davis, showed up for a mid-morning event on Blue Hill Road where he drove home the message that while investment in bricks and mortar is nice, one in compassion and humanity is even better.
The Prime Minister's presence at an official opening, ribbon cutting, or unveiling not much of a surprise, but his blunt approach at the commissioning ceremony of the Department of Social Services' newly renovated headquarters this morning was. From the onset, he made it clear that his appearance was about much more than simply admiring a building. As he put it, he could care less about its new paint, size, or modern accessibility.
When I think about what it means to lead this country, it comes down to one thing: how we treat people, especially those who can't give us anything in return. My life has taught me that. I wasn't born into privilege, or as my grandfather say, I had no silver spoon in my mouth. I know what it means to struggle. I've seen what poverty can do to a family. I've watched people fight hard to survive in a system that sometimes makes them feel small or forgotten.
And that served as a springboard for what came next. An assurance that no Bahamian should ever feel ashamed to ask for help. On the other end, it must be the government's solemn duty to help those who need it most. And according to the Prime Minister, if that were to mean cutting the red tape or finding another dollar, just do it.
I would rather our government do too much for someone in need than to be remembered for doing too little. When you walk into the Department of Social Services, you should be met with respect, not suspicion, with warmth, not bureaucracy. If someone is coming to you for help, chances are they've already been through enough. And let me say this to the staff who serve here, from the front desk to the back office. You are doing a sacred work. For you, this alone is not only a job. This is service.
a service he vowed to provide the tools needed to get the job done.
You know, we are building a Bahamas where no one is left behind.
The budget passed in the House of Assembly last night, clearing the way for debate to now move to the upper chamber. Our Corval Pyfram reports.
Parliamentarians actually finished their work on the budget around 10, but debate in the House of Assembly last night did not wrap up until almost 1 in the morning. But in the end, the Davis administration's 2025-26 budget has climbed a major hurdle. Yesterday's marathon session of Parliament ran smoothly with members, though trading barbs at times, still managing, though, to remain polite. However, there were some testy moments, like this exchange between the Prime Minister and opposition leader over the Maritime Enforcement Unit legislation, which Michael Pintard said last night the government should abandon.
In light of the sensitivity of this matter, you have just two things. Just permit me to complete it. Have the consultation with the stakeholders, one, and then two, again, allay any concerns, unwarranted fears that this is merely a tidying up exercise.
I thought you are now causing me to think that this genuine concern about the bill is not truly genuine. I'm an open book, you know. Right? If I find wrongdoing, I deal with it. This is not about to cover up anything. This is to be transparent.
Now, earlier in the day, the Prime Minister, during his wrap-up, reported that the Bahamas has successfully returned to the international capital markets with a more than $1 billion bond issuance in U.S. dollars. This, he says, has allowed the government to repurchase over $760 million in older debt, extend repayment timeline by over 2 years, and reduce near-term obligations by more than $450 million. With the new issuance, Mr. Davis says investor confidence was strong, with the bond nearly 4 times oversubscribed.
This reflects the international market growing trust in our economic reforms and fiscal discipline. This is why everything we are doing in our debt strategy is important. And these are the tangible outcomes of the work we are putting in. Proceeds from this issuance will support both debt management and national development.
And with the bill now passed in the House of Assembly, it moves on to the Senate debate. They're expected to get underway on Monday. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pyfram.
Thanks, Corval. The Davis administration pumping millions of dollars to improve airport infrastructure across the country, aiming to make the islands of the Bahamas more accessible, safer for travelers, and more appealing to tourists, investors, and returning Bahamians. While wrapping up the budget debate in Parliament on Thursday, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, emphasized that the initiative is about expanding opportunities island by island. The Prime Minister revealed that a contract for a new airport terminal in Long Island will be signed within the next 60 days. The terminal project is expected to complement the $20 million contract signed on Wednesday for the construction of a new runway at the Deadman's Key Airport. This marks the first step in the government's $150 million National Airport Redevelopment Program.
We'll be executing contracts for new runways and airside works in Black Point, Rock Sound, Crooked Island, Acklands, terminal buildings in Grand Bahama, Black Point, terminal buildings in Rock Sound, Mangrove Key, Rum Key, Cat Island terminal runway are already underway.
Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, responding to concerns about the doctor's on-call system expressed by MP for Central Grand Bahama, Iram Lewis, while going over the heads and items of the budget contribution in the House last evening. Darville revealed that health officials are addressing the shortage of doctors across the country by putting a wide cross-section of doctors in the Family Islands. He says by doing this, doctors are now in place during their regular times rather than allowing for the on-call system to kick in. He also responded to questions by the MP for Long Island, Adrian Gibson, about the longevity of stem cell and gene therapy research in the Bahamas. Gibson said there was an allocation of around $250,000 in last year and this year's budget, but not much has been said about health's ongoing efforts. Darville gave this response.
Longevity and stem cell legislation and is now enacted. The board is already formed. The ethics committee is formed. We are now renovating a location where we will operate from. And we also launch a digital platform called LATA, which means that anyone who applied to be a part of this industry in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas can do it digitally. It's state-of-the-art. And as you can see, right now we've allocated $250,000, but we anticipate with the licenses that would be issued, this particular line item, we will pump money into the Treasury. And in doing so, it will become self-sufficient.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. More news in just a moment.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
This year, Kingdor National Parkinson Foundation is taking you back to the old school. With entertainment by TMF, the band formerly known as Maze.
Y'all better come on now.
Also appearing will be local artist Plotty and the Naked Eye. And the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Pop Band.
Save the date, Saturday, June 28th, 2025, Atlantis Paradise Island.
To purchase your tickets, call telephone 428-2588 or visit Carey's Fabric and Uniform Store, Mackey Street.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
A Royal Caribbean executive is providing an update on the Paradise Island Royal Beach Club set to make its debut this December. And as our Daniel Dean tells us, much to the company's pleasure, the project is well on track.
Royal Caribbean Group Bahamas President Philip Simon says the hiring process for the Royal Beach Club on Paradise Island is going well.
We're in the second wave of our recruitment process. You would have heard recently the engagement of several executives, directors, and led by our general manager, Troy Smith.
The company is now seeking to fill managerial supervisor positions.
And hopefully by the end of the summer, we would have had engaged the target number of about 150 Bahamians in terms of direct employment under the Royal Beach Club at Paradise Island. Of course, this does not include the numbers that will come as a part of the JV partnerships and the vendors who will be providing third-party services to us.
Simon says Royal Caribbean is encouraged by the amount of third-party applicants thus far that will help to bring the project to fruition with Bahamians at the forefront as promised.
Just amazing the amount of submissions we've had from talented and creative Bahamians straight across the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And so we hope to be making decisions on that particular program over the next month or so.
Adding, the Royal Caribbean Group is making a hustle to engage other vendors: medical, food and beverage, landscaping, pool maintenance, and others. As for the construction of the club itself,
development, we're moving 1,000 miles an hour. Obviously, we want Endeavour to be open in December of this year. A couple of weeks ago at the Chamber luncheon, we said we're about 50% completed. We're a little north now, 50%.
Nevertheless, the president says they're turning the wheels as fast as they can to achieve their goal.
We're not looking for any other month. We're certainly not looking into 2026.
A goal that is welcomed by all parties. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Thanks, Danielle. The Bahamas is taking strategic steps to remain on the cutting edge of energy reform and technology. And to do so, a local delegation is engaging with global leaders in the field, attending high-level workshops and energy site tours across Europe. A key focus of the mission is the expansion of ocean energy technologies and the potential benefits they hold for the Bahamas. Ocean energy is being touted as the next major leap in renewable power, and this considering ocean covers over 70% of the planet. This form of energy they can offer consistent around-the-clock base load power, something solar and wind energy cannot provide on their own. Given that the Bahamas produces about 90% of its fresh water through energy-intensive desalination, the delegation is also exploring the potential of ocean thermal energy conversion as a more sustainable method to produce clean drinking water. The group includes representatives from the Bahamas Power and Light Company, the Office of the Prime Minister, and several regional partner countries. And speaking of oceans, employees of the Department of Marine Resources participating in a series of seminars that serves as a necessary reminder why their jobs help the country remain afloat. Here's Daniel Dean with that story.
We are the stewards of a marine area more than 20 times the size of our land mass. Protecting it, as I'm sure you all know, is no easy task.
Agriculture and Marine Resources Minister, the Honourable Jomo Campbell, reminding participants of a 3-day fisheries law enforcement workshop of what they're up against and why strategic partnerships and training are crucial. The Department of Marine Resources has not only discovered that many fishermen don't understand or even know the regulations in place, but that some choose to blatantly ignore.
A lot of the fishermen didn't know that we actually have different sizes that they are supposed to be catching. And then they didn't know that there are close season for these sizes.
Assistant Fisheries Superintendent Nancy Gittins-Wright says local fishermen should be schooled on a few popular catch.
Nassau Grouper right now is open, and spiny lobster is actually closed until August 31st. And also stone crab season is actually closed as of June 1st to October 15th.
Kazarina McKinney, Executive Director of the Bahamas Reef Environment Educational Foundation, or BREEF, added, though, that it should not just be about protecting fish, but coral. And one need only consider the fact that they protect the island from storm damage.
We have created a number of educational materials that we shared, from fisheries regulation materials to fish identification, coral identification materials, and are hoping that these can be used for the benefit of the law enforcement agencies that are working so hard out in the field protecting our environment.
Hopefully, the 3-day seminar left employees inspired.
Let this workshop not only train officers, but build alliances, not only share knowledge, but deepen trust, not only strengthen enforcement, but reinforce our shared responsibility to the ocean.
The ministry and other related personnel are working day in and out to secure our marine resources. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Just as a reminder, the spiny lobster season will open on August 1st. It was more than just an audition. It was a defining moment for C.I. Gibson student Rashawn Lord. With nerves high and notes even higher, he stepped into the spotlight, chasing the dream that would soon be seen as a reality. Our Maya Moss has this story.
C.I. Gibson's Rashawn Lord has struck the right chord, earning a music scholarship that's sure to set the stage for a bright future. With talent in perfect harmony and dedication that never misses a beat, Rashawn's journey proves that when you play your heart out, success is music to everyone's ears.
First you have to apply, then you have to go into a room so you can warm up and prepare. Then when they call you in, you have to play your scales, play your piece, and then they'll tell you how you did. I just wanted to try set myself up as a success and get a scholarship so I could go off and further my education.
C.I. Gibson's director of music, Carlano Bain, praised Lord for his outstanding work, calling his success a shining example of what passion can achieve. He encourages other students to follow their dreams, reminding them that every great melody begins with a single note and not to be afraid to play yours.
If I was to use one word to describe Rashawn, it would be perseverance. He came in grade 10. And listen, we started off from scratch. And I would like to say a huge shout out to his mom, because when he came in, he didn't even know what a saxophone was. And at the time, we didn't even have a saxophone here for him to play. So I spoke to his mom, and she boots on the ground and went and got him an instrument. So we started basically from scratch. Keep going. The sky is the limits. You have to work for what you want in this life. It isn't going to fall in your lap, all right? As a musician, as an upcoming musician, get on your skills. Find challenging pieces that you can audition with. Work on your tone quality and work on your discipline, because without discipline, you cannot achieve much things in this life.
The graduate hit every high note on his path to success, showing what's possible with heart and hard work. As C.I. Gibson celebrates his achievement, he's setting the tone for others to follow. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Amaya Moss.
What an excellent story, Amaya. Ellen Coakley High School just graduated another stellar group of students, with Azaria Williams named salutatorian and Dornisha Ferguson sailing to the top spot as valedictorian. The theme this year, anchored in excellence. No surprise from the sailing capital of the Bahamas. From the team here at ZNS, congratulations to the class of 2025. The Department of Labor, in conjunction with the Special Education Unit at the Ministry of Education, will host a first-of-its-kind job fair for persons across the disability spectrum this Saturday. The event is set to facilitate as many as 100 persons at the Learning Resource Center, Palmdale. Director of Labor Howard Thompson says corporate Bahamas has already joined in, helping to diversify the employee pool, providing new employment opportunities for the group, which can easily be overlooked in a normal work environment.
We have the Airport Authority will be here on Saturday, along with ATOS, Dunkin' Donuts, Super Value, Cleaning Masters, McDonald's, and I think I can go ahead and say this, that the Department of Labor will probably be looking for a couple of differently able persons as well. My colleague just confirmed to me that we have one person who's disabled there, but we may be hoping to onboard a couple more persons, so long as they can fit within what we're needing.
Thompson says even if not successful in this upcoming employment drive, the Department of Labor will continue to press towards assisting others in the long-term opportunities.
So it's not one of those things where you come here and you get one interview and no one calls you back. They are specifically looking for differently able persons. So please, I encourage all persons to try to make every effort to be here on Saturday.
Michelle Knowles has a look at what's coming up in sports tonight. Michelle?
Day one of the Swimming National Championships in the books. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this bring great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community. Also help with the education of our kids in this community and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas Stripe and the Bahamian Company, they prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving a small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
Covering the news seems easy, but we put thought into what we're doing. The Bahamas Tonight Access Now, here to inform, educate, and entertain. a new type of newscast featuring social media trends, news from around the islands, interviews with the people you like in our communities, sports, weather, and fabulous entertainment. That's a Bahamas Tonight Access Now with Marlena Leonard and LaDon Davis. 7:30, Monday to Friday. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome to your TGIF Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. One day of competition already in the books over at the Betty Kelly Kenning Aquatic Center. This year's Bahamas Aquatic Swimming Nationals. This report from our Eugene Stewart. We hear who is atop the medal count after the first two sessions.
The sweet sounds of Junkanoo echoed the stands for the evening session of the 53rd Annual Bahamas Aquatic Swimming Championships. Swimmers coming out of the blocks with high intensity as they continue to compete for their various clubs. Setting a new record in the boys' 11-12 50-meter backstroke was Kai Bastian with a time of 30.53 seconds.
It feels good. I'm very glad that I broke it. Every time it's before a race, I always focus and read my race. Like, I always think about what's going to happen in my race. And then I do it, and I that's what I did, and I got the record.
Also joining the record books was Olympian Lamar Taylor. Taylor touching the wall in the boys' 18 and over 50-meter backstroke with a time of 25.66 seconds.
It was a strong, comfortable race. I haven't swum the race in about 2 years, so it's good to get back into it and just get familiar with it right before World Championships. And pretty good time. I'm happy with it. Really close to my personal best. So just have to go back, review, and try to switch up things for Worlds. Try to get a pretty good start, make sure that I execute well and get my arms going and reach that 50 tempo and try to hold it the entire way, really be able to rotate my shoulders, get my hips involved, and kick very strong and just, touch the wall.
Catch all of the action from the pool as the Swimming Nationals continues all weekend long at the Betty Kelly Kenning Aquatic Center. Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Eugene Stewart.
To the diamond, the Don't Blink Queens of Paradise softball series getting underway last night at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium. Now, after the Atlanta Smoke and Orlando Monarchs finished dueling it out on the field, the teams would host a free softball clinic this morning for some of our very own local upcoming softball prospects. Our intern, Swanson Gibson Jr., gives us more details in this report.
Today's Queens of Paradise softball clinic gave way to numerous young girls receiving guidance and mentorship, enhancing their softball skills. Players from the Atlanta Smoke of the Women's Professional Fast Pitch League worked intimately with the young ladies, emphasizing the importance of fundamentals. Atlanta Smoke pitcher Morgan Howe talks growing the game of softball globally.
My whole mission in continuing to play softball is just to grow the game. And so the opportunity to do that in another country is something that, I can't even put into words. But yeah, here today, we're just, trying to revamp the love of the game in these kids. When we came out and visited a couple weeks ago, that was kind of the common goal was, again, spreading the love of the game, getting it revived, and then especially understanding the history here and what fast pitch softball was here.
Tyra Wilmot reflected on her experience at the clinic.
The drills are really nice. I've learned a lot of new things and how to perfect some of the things that I already knew. Because I want to go in college and be professional one day, and it's good to see that other people have done it. So there's a chance that I can do it also. Yeah.
In the midst of the festivities were also a few Bahamian softball coaches assisting with various drills. They discussed the athletic and mental framework needed to succeed within the sport of softball.
Okay, so a lot of the drills that we're working on have to do with fundamentals, so hitting, fielding, base running, outfield drills, anything to get the kids kind of acclimated to the game. It appears to be a lot of beginners, so a lot of these stations are a little easier for them to catch on and stuff like that.
I think it's hard work. It's hard work, and then it's the intangibles. I think that's what a lot of girls miss. I don't think talent takes you everywhere. I think it's the hard work, the work ethic, it's the attitude, it's the everything else, the respect, things of that sort. So I think work hard and hone the intangibles, take pride in the intangibles, and I think that takes you pretty far.
The Queens of Paradise softball series resumes this weekend at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium. The Atlanta Smoke looking to even things up in their best-of-3 series with the Orlando Monarchs. Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Swanson Gibson Jr.
More from Buddy Hield's Foundation and their recent trip to Exuma this week. Buddy says he's hoping to bring a camp to the island in 2026, as he hopes to expand to other islands as well, and hopefully can get more of our professional players on board.
And just feeling the grounds out, and I think there's a lot of potential just coming here and just getting back to the island, and just find ways I can tap in out here, but like in other keys, and I think the kids, they love basketball, and if I can come here more and spend more days and work with them and educate them on the right things they need to work on, and it's not about like 1 day, 2 days of camp, but just like helping them over time, because 1 day of camp is not going to be good enough, but just 3-4 days and tapping in between the years and just coming back and giving back, and I think that can go a long way.
Okay, so you've been having camps for over a decade now, so you're finally expanding to the other family islands. What's that like for you?
It's special. I think we need to do more, and I think I need to get more guys involved, more guys from the national team involved. Because all these little kids look up to us, and I just see all the guys out here, and I just communicate with them and playing with them, and just giving when you bring the little youth see the progress the Bahamas basketball has made over the years, just being here in the flesh, will give them more motivation, and I think that's tapping in not only Exuma, like Warners, Eleuthera, that's tapping the whole Bahamas. I think that would be good for Bahamas basketball, and just inspire the youth to know that if we can make it, they can make it too.
And that's been Look at Your Sports on this Friday. I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out.